Hi, I'm Lillian McMorris, and welcome to the Lillian McMorris Show, where we talk about things that are going on right here in our community. Programs, events. We have authors, entertainers, people that are making a difference right here in Southern Nevada. And it is my pleasure to have on this show, I've got three wonderful guests, and we're going to find out a little bit about the law, what's going on. We've got some general questions that people have asked us for our Law Corner. And we've got Olive Crest. And Olive Crest is one of those organizations that helps our children and helps find caring, sharing, respectful homes and loving homes for these kids. And then at the top of the show, which we're going to talk to right now, is Dr. Arnold Stalk. Welcome, Dr. Stalk.
Thank you for having me.
And may I call you Arnie?
Absolutely.
Welcome, Arnie.
Thank you for having me.
You are doing something that right now is buzzing throughout the United States. But ours is buzzing on a very positive note. And that would be Veterans Village and Veterans Garden.
Yes.
Talk to me about it. I mean, that was your vision, your dream, being able to help the vets right here in Southern Nevada.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. Veterans Village is a retrofitted old motel right on the Las Vegas Strip near Charleston.
Okay.
And it's 122 units, and we've completely renovated it and made it transitional residence for United States veterans.
Wow, that is so neat. And what is talk a little more about it. Come on, what's the criteria for our vets to get in there? How do you find the people who need the housing?
Well, our lobby is an old, what was formerly a motel lobby is now a crisis intervention center for veterans. Wow. And what was the old motel clerk when you'd walk in is now a crisis intervention specialist. We have never closed the door since we opened 2 years ago. Anybody, including non-veterans that need help or need some form of assistance, whether it's housing or not, always gets help in our lobby or gets a referral to another agency.
Okay.
So we have a very severe problem here in Southern Nevada and throughout the United States with our veterans being homeless or those at risk of being homeless,
right,
which is a huge population that we need to fix. And so we quite simply started this. It's a private sector and a public sector effort, partnership, and we house veterans with respect and dignity.
And how many units do you have available to them?
There's 122, Lillian, and we take it one vet at a time.
Okay.
We take a very large problem, something that's very global in this country, and when someone comes into our lobby, we do an intake process just as you'd get in an emergency room.
Right, okay.
So we're an emergency room for social services. And we work with our partnering agencies, and we have several of them. The main ones are Help Us Southern Nevada, Salvation Army, Las Vegas Urban League, West Care, anybody that works with veterans
right,
or people in general.
So that's that arm, like if they need clothing, they need mental health assistance, they need job referral or training. You have all of those that work with you.
We have those, and then in our lobby, we can, our computer bank is a job bank.
Yeah.
We have our own thrift store on Jones and Charleston. If somebody needs clothing, we provide clothing, we give them a voucher, and we give them transportation down there so they can go in with respect and dignity, pick out what they want, try it on, put some outfits together, and then get clothes. We're a 3-square provider, and so
they get food.
There's no one ever goes hungry at Veterans Village, and Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and Dunkin' Donuts all provide, a consortium of these groups provide food for our residents. All of the residents live in their own independent apartment, in a motel room, which is an apartment. That was my next question. Do they share a space, or? We have a common kitchen, 2 common kitchens, where if people want to cook and eat in common, they can. By themselves, prepared by themselves, or we promote independent living. We want our vets to feel at home. We don't want them to feel like they're in an institution. And
this isn't like a transition, like you just flow through here and go someplace else. They actually can stay there? People
are permanent, they stay there on either a permanent residency, but most people want to get their own home, get their own permanent place.
So this is their step up.
This is the stepping stone to stepping up to more permanent housing.
Okay.
And it's a tremendous gap throughout the country, this type of housing, because we have shelters and we have overnights, but we don't have that place where somebody can really get their head together.
Get their self together, get some, if they need counseling, get some extra training, like you said, clothes, and the ability to clean up and just be respectful.
And
feel respectful.
Exactly. We have male veterans, female veterans. We're one of the only organizations that'll take families on a very short-term basis.
Okay.
But when a family shows up in our lobby, we don't say no to them. Or we call the other agencies and see if we can get them placed and get them situated. And we have a great partnership with the Home Depot, who gave us a major grant to redo the whole facility. And they will interview our veterans once we have computers that are just dialed up for Home Depot, or for Lowe's, or anybody major employers like MGM or Caesars.
So they can go and apply for a job right there in the lobby.
Right in our lobby.
Okay.
We can do it if they need a food Quest card, get them an appointment at the VA, any of the thing that somebody needs, because that really prevents a lot of homelessness. That one visit with someone who's a caring person.
That is the key word right there.
And connects them.
A caring person.
A caring person, and we mean business. So it's not a lobby to come and sit in and kind of congregate.
Right.
It's a place to get yourself together and then move into a stabilized situation.
I am so happy to hear that and share this
Thank you.
information. Now, that is the Veterans Village. Now, let's talk about Veterans Garden.
Veterans Garden is our Jacob Sportsman Memorial Plaza, where we are going to build a memorial to our veterans in downtown, which one doesn't exist in the way that we're going to do it. On Veterans Day, Memorial Day, any day somebody wants to come and just have a quiet, reflective place, but it's also going to be a park for our residents to have a barbecue, to sit down and relax, to enjoy a little bit. So that
what do you need from our community, Arnie?
We need everything from bottles of water to non-perishable foods to cash contributions. If somebody wants to donate for $20 a night, we house a veteran. There's no place around that can do that and house somebody in a respectful environment for $20 a night. So that's what we do. That's our pitch.
That's your pitch.
Grassroots.
It's grassroots. Getting out there, helping people. They walk through the door. They're welcome. They have the computers where they can look for jobs. You have vouchers and travel that they can go get clothing. It's
correct.
Everything that a person can look for that wants that step up to get on their feet. No homelessness for our veterans, and making a difference right here in our community, specifically for veterans and their families. That's Veterans Village. And for more information, veteransvillagelasvegas.org. That's veteransvillagelasvegas.org, or you can give them a call at 702-624-5792. That's 702-624-5792. Arnie, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for giving us all the information on Veterans Village. Okay, we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Lynn Stewart from Olive Crest. The Lillian McMorris Show is brought to you in part by Louisiana Gumbo and More, located on West Charleston. The best gumbo, fried catfish, salads, and don't forget the po' boys. That's Louisiana Gumbo and More on West Charleston. And welcome back. We're going to talk to the lovely Lynn Stewart. Welcome, Lynn.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here. Helping and preserving families and transforming lives. That's what Olive Crest does.
One life at a time.
I love it. I love it. What is your mission statement?
Well, like you said, preserving family. We work with families and at-risk youth. We believe that through the transforming, healing power of a loving family, we can transform the community one life at a time through youth, through members of the family, bringing them together, making them successful, and helping them stay together and united.
Okay, let's talk about some of the programs that you have at Olive Crest.
Yes, we have about 8 programs. We started as a foster family agency,
right.
But we now
That's
help.
what I know you from,
Yes.
is being able to place kids, but with that little extra step. Checking that
Absolutely.
family for the love and care, not just for the check that is received because they have
And
a
it's
child.
one thing to give, clothing and food and housing, but be able to make memories and give them great experiences and that special touch. That's also what we believe and pride ourselves on.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So we have about 8 programs, everything from foster youth coming into the system and those aging out. That group is about 17 through 22.
Right.
We have a program called Project Independence, which helps them. We're a support system for them, and also help them to do everything from get their GED, find internships, and help them succeed in life and be that safety net for them once they do leave the system and being involved with a foster family.
Right.
In between
because
there.
they're kind of floating once they age out of foster care.
Right.
What do you do?
Right.
And especially if you haven't been in a good, loving, caring home that has given you some direction.
Right. And even if you have, sometimes at 18, we all need, someone, a mom, aunt, dad, whoever's there for us to help us along the way until we are ready to really be out there on our own. So we are that family for those youth that don't have anyone else to turn to. In between there, we help everyone from families that are at risk of losing their children, as well as families that are reuniting with their kids. So maybe their child was removed for an issue, child abuse, whatever was going on. Once they've worked the program and now they're being reunited, they may not know that child. They've been away for them.
Challenges.
Right. So
how do you, that's an intervention. How do you intervene in that family to help them?
There's therapeutic services. There's support. One thing is getting in there and making sure they have those parenting skills that they missed the first time around. So being that support system, providing them with resources that they need, and then helping just reunite the family, the child getting to know the parent again, and the parent now knowing that child and loving that child in the way they should be loved. We also help teens in the community that are current and former foster youth that are pregnant and parenting, so that their child does not end up in the same situation that they were once in. We also
what services do you give to them?
Parenting skills, support in home care. So a lot of times transportation and getting to the services is a big challenge. So our workers go out and help them in home with those parenting skills from 0 to...
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
So
go ahead. I'm sorry. I love to give information of different programs that we can help the people in our community. It's one thing to see the issue and see the challenges, but if you're not there with answers and there with information, you're not being helpful.
And everyone can help in that area. Maybe you're not ready to be a foster parent, or maybe you're not ready to, take on that challenge and also that opportunity, but you can help and be a mentor. You can help and, teach a child or help a child that's trying to get into an internship. Some of these children don't have the exposure or the opportunity. So anything you can do to help, be it help out in the community, come and volunteer with us, mentor one of our at-risk youth. There's many ways to get involved.
Okay, what about donations?
Yes, so everything from financial, which is the biggest need for every nonprofit, but also in kind. We have a family resource center, so there's a set of zip codes. So if you live in that area, you can come into our family resource center and get immediate needs, being food, clothing, or hygiene items, things like that. If we can't help you, then we can let you know where to go, refer you where to go.
For people who don't know, because family resource centers were established about 12 years ago, and they're basically all over town. Some of them have closed due to funding. So, but you're one of the blessed ones that you still have it. Give our listeners information about what is a family resource center.
Just that, basically the resources that are needed, immediate needs. We also have a computer room. They can come in and look up jobs. We try to get them on their feet. We don't want to just be a handout, but a hand up, so that when they do come to us for help, we find out more about what's going on so that we can help them not come again. We'd rather send them on their way and know that they can be successful, so they can get the resources they need, that they immediately need. They won't leave hungry. They won't leave without clothing. They won't leave without a referral if there's something that we can't help them with, exactly where to go, and then get them on their feet so that they can be self-sufficient.
Okay. What is the main goal if someone would come to talk to you about Olive Crest? What would be the main thing that you would tell them? What's the big picture?
The big picture is impacting lives, impacting families. Families impact our community, and then we impact our world. So everything that we can do to make homes stronger, safer, families more united, work on that unit so that they can be more successful in life. So family is just our motto, what we stand on.
What can we do as a community other than the monetary and volunteer efforts? What else do you need from our community?
One of our biggest challenges is awareness. Not enough people know about Olive Crest and what we do. Within our industry, foster and adoptive, we have a lot of, a lot of people know about us, and we have a lot of partners. But outside in the community, a lot of people don't know about the great work that is being done, the families and the successes that are being helped and that are happening, and also how they can, if you're in need of something, please come to us. We're all just, one step away from needing someone, and if you don't know where to go or don't have a support system, Olive Crest can be that for you.
Okay. And you don't have to, for instance, for instance, if my challenge were, I have no groceries, my food is low, I don't have any money, what do I do? Now, do I have to prove to you with check stubs? Do I have to prove to you that these are some of the things that keep people away from programs because they don't have it.
Right, and a lot of times that is just to keep things decent and in order so that if you do need food, there truly is a need and we can meet that. But coming to us, we can help you. Like I said, we sit down with you and find out more about your situation. And if you don't fall in one of our zip codes, we can refer you to the Family Resource Center.
And where are you located?
We are at 4285 North Rancho, Suite 160. We are right at Craig and Rancho.
Craig and Rancho. Okay.
Right by Calvary Chapel Church.
Okay. And that's olivecrest.org. Olivecrest.org. Very simple, actually. You can go read about the wonderful programs that they have. And if you want to speak with someone, 702-658-3459. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Olive Crest. That's olivecrest.org. You can always go to their website and find out a little more about all the programs that they have and how they can help family. And that's what it's about, is keeping families together. Whether you have an issue, a challenge with getting your child back, the child has been taken away, you have to attend classes, you don't have food, you need to help with this bill, you need referrals. That's what a Family Resource Center is. They'll help you with every individual need and sit down with you and make sure that they meet or help you meet those challenges and those needs. We're so happy to talk to you, Lynn. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome. Olivecrest.org. Now you stay tuned. We're going to be right back. The Power Walk, fun family event that benefits Dress for Success, Saturday, July 26th at the Miracle Mile Shops. The inaugural Her/She Driving the Dream charity event weekend to benefit girls in foster care, August 15th through the 17th at the Revere Golf Club. For more information, go to hershegroup.org or call 702-574-1409. And welcome back. It is time for our Law Corner. We've got a few questions, and our executive person is going to answer all of our law, and we'd love to have her, and I'd like to welcome you back. Adrienne Lobo, welcome back, Adrienne.
Thank you for having me,
Thank
Lillian.
you. I thank you. Deputy Public Defender, Senior Attorney.
That is correct.
That is wonderful, and I'm going to, a couple of things from our last interview with you that people wrote in. What is the area that you specialize in?
Well, I do criminal defense, but I'm on a special team inside the public defender's office that does sexual assault defense. So I defend people who are accused of sexual assault either on a child or an adult.
I'm going to go a little outside the realm here. With you saying that, how does that affect you as a person? How does that affect you?
Whether or not
to deal with those issues.
Are you talking about the issues or the clients?
Let's do both. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm actually quite fine with it, as bizarre as that might sound to some people. I didn't go right into sexual assault. I've been practicing for about 7.5 years, so I started on a general felony track and then worked my way up into doing like category A felonies, doing murders and doing sexual assault cases, and now I'm on a team that does only that. So I think it's a transitional period, I think, and a growth for an attorney to start somewhere that's a little bit, less serious and then transition into that.
So you're able to close that chapter and go home or go wherever you go and not have it bother you.
I am. Well, I think I'm on... I guess the question that you're asking is does it bother me at all? Or I guess it would assume that question, I think, kind of assumes a little bit that the person who is my client did do that, or it did happen exactly that way. Okay. And I start from a place, as we talked about last time, being pretty open-minded when it comes to meeting a client and really giving them the benefit of their story of it.
And we talked about this before because of the fact that what we see and what someone else said and maybe what's in the police report is not necessarily what that person's story is going to tell you.
That's true, and sometimes it is. I think that it's a balance. I do see a whole variety of different situations in my field, but I think that by and large you have to approach it that way, or else they're already going to be, on the defensive with you and think that you are not really going to fight for them, especially because I do work for a government entity. I'm not a private attorney.
Right.
I work for the government, and so they already have that perception because I receive my paycheck from the government.
That you're against them.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm on the same side as the district attorney. I'm on, in cahoots with them and the judge. And why should they trust me?
Right.
I'm not
And that's
being
what you
paid.
have to do. And I guess that brings me to my next question, because I want to know, what is the most challenging thing that you face, like in your practice area now with sexual assaults? What is your most challenging?
I think there's two. The first one being is that relatability, is that we all have common experiences. Everybody has had a fight with a loved one, has maybe even gotten into a fight when they were younger, when they were in college. People have gotten DUIs. People have had circumstances you could imagine if you were accused of murdering someone. Well, could it be for jealousy? Could it be for money? Could it be out of, somebody disrespected you? Right. That isn't so in a sexual assault case. Right. There's not something that is tangible that you can kind of connect with jurors. So you start in a position where you're getting those questions or those faces, like when the charges are being read, that they don't get it. Right. When they hear a sexual assault on a minor less than 14, they don't have anything in the back of their mind to relate that to, unless they've been a victim or have had a family member accused of something like that. Okay.
One of our listeners wanted to know how you can defend someone when you know that they are guilty.
How do I defend somebody who I know is guilty? I think those are probably the easier cases to defend. The harder cases to defend are the ones who are innocent, or who I believe to be innocent. Because when somebody is guilty, and this is obviously contingent upon the government doing their side of their job, if they've done everything they have to do, the way the system's supposed to be, if they're following the rules, then I'm supposed to lose, right?
You're supposed to lose.
Right. And so
Which just comes back to what people think anyway. If you get a public defender, you're not getting the proper representation. And I'm getting a little off subject now, but due to the fact that you just stated that, you're getting your paycheck from, I don't have the best representation, she's part of the government, all of these things. So that makes it very difficult for you to show that person that you believe them. That's a challenge in itself.
Right. And that is, I think, what I always like to, remind people of is that, if you're on camera, if there's DNA evidence, if there is an eyewitness to whatever is happening, there's only so much I can do. I'm not your fairy godmother. I can't just, do poof and make it go away. Right. There has to be a reason for a judge to suppress those things or get rid of them. And so if there's not a reason for something like then we've got to figure out what we can do to do damage control at that point. But the cases that really bother me and I have the hardest time with are the ones where I think that they're innocent. Those are the ones that keep you awake at night.
That's your challenge.
That is definitely where I think the real pressure is on.
Okay. So how do you handle that?
Lots of yoga, lots of meditation.
And see if I can pray through this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we've got one other of our watchers. What is the biggest misconceptions that surrounds public defenders? And I think we discussed that a little bit, but let's go into it a little more.
I think that it's pervasive. It's pervasive that we aren't going to fight for you, and that the stereotype is out there because traditionally, historically, a lot of offices around the country, and this one included, have had, the perception that they're not going to fight for you. Right. And I think that there's a new era of defense attorneys in the office, at least 3 or 4 generations back, and now that there is new, fresh blood in that office. And I think that the public does not know, clients especially don't know, that you really are getting grade A
Right.
representation. These are the people who are in the trenches. We do have resources that are at our fingertips you wouldn't think are available. We have social workers if we're doing damage control. We have our own investigators. We have our own specialists. In addition, many of the attorneys in my office love going to trial. We do deal a lot of cases because it is damage control. Right. We shouldn't be going if they're going to run the risk of, getting a higher, penalty
Right.
and more charges.
So you're basically, the bottom line is, yes, you are there to defend that person regardless of whether you've been assigned to them or not. They're going to get the best defense.
Absolutely. And that we do go to trial.
We do go to trial, and we fight for you.
Exactly. We're trial lawyers.
You've been listening to The Law Corner. We'd like to thank Adrienne Lobo, Deputy Public Defender, Senior Attorney, for coming and answering some questions for us. And we're definitely going to have you back because we get questions all the time. As a matter of fact, if you have something generally that you would like to ask about the law, about the Public Defender's Office, or something in general, it's lawquestions@LillianMcMorrisShow.com. lawquestions@LillianMcMorrisShow.com. We'll have our Law Corner again, and I hope you'll be able to come back and visit with us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lynn.
I'm Lillian McMorris, and we would like to thank COX and Nevada Partners and the Venetian Sands and Power 88 and Paragon for being our wonderful sponsors right here on the Lillian McMorris Show. You can always catch us right here on COX or go to LillianMcMorrisShow.com or our YouTube channel. We're always here to inform and educate our listeners and our viewers. Again, we want to thank you. I'm Lillian McMorris, and we'll talk to you next time. The Lillian McMorris Show is produced by Tego & Associates Productions. Multi-camera shoots either in our studio or on location. That's Tego & Associates Productions. Give us a call at 702-509-7728.